I'm going to tell you about the most boring part of my day. So on a typical evening, I come home to my apartment in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I turn on the lights. I stream music to my stereo from my phone. I head into the kitchen to make dinner. When I come in the door and I flip that light switch, those electrons might be getting their push from a nuclear reactor, from a hydroelectricity project 1,000 miles away. The gas in my stove comes from national and local pipelines that heats my house. It also heats the hot water that I do the dishes in. And then that water drains to one of the largest wastewater treatment plants in the country. So these are our infrastructural utilities. There's energy, it's fuel, it's electricity, it's water, it's sewage, it's telecommunications, it's the supply chains behind that. They're basically invisible, or at least invisible to me.
You interact with hundreds of industries every day. You see the products, you see the brands, you see the prices. But the systems that actually determine how modern life works, most of them are invisible. They don't sell to you. They don't advertise to you. And yet they quietly control what gets built, what gets funded, and what gets expensive. When people think about industries, they picture things they can touch: cars, food, phones, stores. But beneath those visible products sits another layer of industries, ones that don't produce consumer goods at all. Instead, they create the rules, infrastructure, and pricing systems that everything else depends on. They don't make the world visible. They make the world possible. Take data centers. Every message you send, every video you watch, every file stored in the cloud exists inside warehouses full of servers you will never see. They don't sell entertainment. They don't sell social media. They sell computing infrastructure. Without them, modern digital life stops instantly. Then there are payment processing networks. When you tap your card, the store doesn't actually receive your money in that moment. Behind that simple tap is an entire financial pipeline. Authorization networks, fraud detection systems, settlement, clearing houses, interbank liquidity systems. An invisible industry moves your money long before the store ever gets paid. Then there's insurance risk pooling. Insurance companies don't sell protection in the way most people imagine. What they actually sell is risk calculation. They model disasters, accidents, and probabilities, and those models determine which homes get built, which businesses can operate, which loans get approved, which industries expand. Entire parts of the economy only exist because invisible risk markets say they can. Next, logistics optimization systems. You don't see them, but they decide which route trucks take, which ports ships use, where warehouses get built, how fast products move. These systems quietly control global efficiency. And when they break, prices rise everywhere. One example of a market most people never see is the carbon credit market. It's essentially a financial system where companies buy permission to emit pollution. And that permission has a price. That price can influence how electricity is generated, where factories operate, which fuels companies choose, how transportation networks are planned. Most consumers never interact with this market directly, but it can quietly affect the cost of power, production, and global supply chains. And this is the pattern. Modern life increasingly runs on industries that don't produce things. They produce systems, pricing systems, compliance systems, infrastructure systems, risk systems, financial coordination systems. These industries determine what becomes cheap, what becomes expensive, what gets built, what disappears, what scales globally. Not because they control products, because they control the conditions products depend on. You experience the visible layer of the world, but the invisible layer decides how that visible world behaves. When power costs change, when supply chains shift, when prices move unexpectedly. It's often not the companies you see making the decision. It's the systems underneath them. And those systems operate quietly, continuously, and mostly out of public view. Modern life isn't just shaped by the brands you recognize. It's shaped by invisible industries that set the rules of the game. Once you start noticing them, you realize something important. The world you live in isn't only built by products. It's built by systems you never see. And not knowing they exist can be expensive.